In a galaxy far from Earth, a group of alien explorers floated in their shiny spacecraft. They were members of the Zenthari, an advanced civilization known for their curiosity and love of knowledge. For centuries, they had traveled across the universe, discovering new worlds and studying their histories. This time, they were drawn to an old, mysterious planet that was once home to a powerful species known as humans. As the Zenthari ship approached Earth, the crew members felt a mix of excitement and wonder. They had heard tales of humans, stories about their incredible technology and adventurous spirit. But what they found when they landed was a planet mostly covered in thick vegetation and crumbling ruins. Time had buried the evidence of humanity's once great civilization. But the Zenthari were determined to uncover its secrets. The explorers stepped onto the soft, green ground. Their advanced suits protected them from the planet's atmosphere, which was filled with strange, unfamiliar scents. As they moved deeper into the ruins, they stumbled upon a massive structure that resembled a fallen tower. Vines twisted around the stone, but parts of it still stood tall, hinting at its past glory. Curious, the team set up their equipment to scan the area. Suddenly, one of the crew members, a young Zenthari named Lyra, shouted in amazement. "Look here! I found something!" She pointed to a small entrance at the base of the tower. The others rushed over, their hearts racing with anticipation. Inside, the air was cool and stale. Lyra led the way, her eyes wide with wonder. They moved cautiously through the dark tunnel, using their suit lights to guide them. As they reached the end, they entered a vast chamber filled with old machines and glowing data cores. The sight took their breath away. "What are these?" asked Zal, the mission leader. He approached a large metallic object that resembled a ship. Its sleek design was unlike anything the Zenthari had ever seen. They could see markings and symbols etched into its surface. It was clear that this was no ordinary vessel. It was a human warship. Lyra rushed to a data core and activated it. A hologram flickered to life above it, showing images of humans in battle. The aliens watched in awe as the hologram displayed fierce warriors and incredible technology. The humans fought with a mix of bravery and intelligence, using tactics that impressed even the most seasoned Zenthari commanders. "They were powerful," Lyra said, her voice filled with excitement. "Look at how they work together. They're amazing." Zal nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. "If we can learn about their technology, it could change everything for us. We need to understand how they built these ships." As they continued to explore, they discovered more data cores and artifacts. Each item told a story of humanity's past, battles fought, victories won, and the determination that drove them. The Zenthari were captivated by the tales of humans who fought against overwhelming odds and still managed to protect their home. But then, as they pieced together more of humanity's history, a feeling of unease washed over them. The Zenthari realized that the humans had faced great challenges, including wars with powerful enemies. Lyra's excitement turned to worry. "What happened to them? Why are they gone?" Zal contemplated the question, knowing that answers might not come easily. "Perhaps they faced a threat too great to overcome. But we need to find out more. We cannot leave this planet without understanding its history." Suddenly, a loud noise echoed through the chamber. The ground shook and dust fell from the ceiling. The Zenthari looked at each other in panic. "What was that?" Lyra gasped. Zal quickly activated the ship's sensors. "I don't know, but we should get back to the surface. We might not be alone here." As they hurried out of the chamber, their minds raced with the knowledge they had gained. They had discovered a lost civilization that once ruled the stars. But now they feared that the secrets they uncovered might attract unwanted attention. Little did they know, their journey into humanity's past was only beginning, and it would lead to challenges they had never imagined. As they stepped back into the light of day, the Zenthari were filled with hope and fear, ready to face whatever awaited them on this mysterious planet. As the Zenthari explorers rushed back to their ship, they could still feel the tremors from the mysterious noise that echoed through the ancient ruins. The ground shook beneath their feet, sending vibrations up their legs. Each step felt heavier, as if the planet itself was warning them. Once they boarded their spacecraft, they quickly activated the control panels. Lyra sat at the navigation station, her fingers flying over the buttons. "We need to leave and analyze the data we collected. We have to figure out what caused that noise," she said, her voice tinged with urgency. Zal stood behind her, watching the readouts. Yes, but we also need to find out what these humans are capable of. Their ships are powerful, but they seem to be dormant. We must explore further, he replied. Just then, a soft beep came from the console. Lyra's eyes widened. I'm receiving a signal from the ship we found in the ruins. It's waking up. What? How can that be? Zal asked, astonished. It's as if the ship has its own power source and it's activating after all these years. We have to see this, Lyra exclaimed. They quickly set the ship's course back to the ruins. As they flew above the ancient structure, they saw the human warship glowing with energy. It was magnificent, with sleek lines and an aura of power. But it was also intimidating, and they wondered if it would be friendly. Once they landed, they stepped out cautiously. The ground still trembled slightly, but the energy from the ship was palpable. It was as if the warship had a heartbeat, pulsing with life after centuries of silence. Let's approach slowly, Zal suggested, motioning for the team to follow him. They walked toward the warship, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. As they got closer, the ship's systems came online, and a holographic display appeared above it. It showed images of soldiers in uniforms ready for battle. The Zenthari stared in awe, realizing they were looking at the crew who once operated the ship. Suddenly, the ground shook again, and the ship's entrance opened with a hiss. Bright lights flooded the area as the Zenthari stepped back in surprise. A ramp extended from the ship, and they could hear faint sounds coming from inside, mechanical whirs and soft voices. What is happening? Lyra whispered, a mix of fear and wonder in her eyes. Zal nodded, trying to keep his composure. I think it's time to find out. We need to go inside. Taking a deep breath, they walked up the ramp and entered the ship. Inside, they were surrounded by advanced technology. The walls glowed with soft lights, and screens displayed maps and star charts. It felt like stepping into a living machine. Suddenly, the ship's systems began to engage. Lights flashed, and a voice echoed through the chamber. Initiating boot sequence. Awakening crew members. Please stand by. The Zenthari exchanged nervous glances. Crew members? Does that mean... Lyra started, but she couldn't finish her thought. Before they could react, holographic images of human soldiers appeared before them. They looked real, as if they had just stepped out of the past. The Zenthari watched in amazement as the soldiers looked around, confused but alert. Status report! One soldier shouted, his voice clear and commanding. Lyra and Zal froze, unsure of how to respond. But then, the soldiers turned their attention to the Zenthari. The lead soldier, a tall man with a strong build, stepped forward. Who are you? Are you the enemy? Zal raised his hands in a gesture of peace. No! We are explorers from the Zenthari. We mean no harm. We found your ship and awoke it. We wanted to learn about humanity. The soldiers looked at each other, uncertainty in their eyes. Humanity? We thought we were lost, the leader replied. What year is it? Lyra glanced at the control panel. It's been 500,000 years since you last fought. You are now in a new era. The soldiers gasped. The leader's expression shifted from confusion to determination. Then we have much to do. Our mission is not complete. We must prepare for whatever lies ahead. Zal felt a surge of hope. Together we can face any threat. The galaxy has changed, and so have we. Let us work as allies. As the humans and Zenthari began to form a bond, the atmosphere shifted from fear to excitement. They were no longer alone. Together they would explore the mysteries of the galaxy and protect their newfound alliance from the dangers that awaited them. Inside the massive human warship, the atmosphere was charged with tension and excitement. Zenthari explorers stood side by side with awakened human soldiers, ready to embark on a new chapter together. The ship hummed with life as systems powered up, and the crew began to prepare for their first mission. Zal, the Zenthari leader, moved to the front of the group. We need to gather information about our surroundings. Let's use the ship's sensors to scan for any nearby threats or allies, he said, his voice steady but filled with determination. The humans nodded, their faces serious as they took in the gravity of the situation. Let's divide into teams, suggested Lyra. One group can handle the sensors, while the other can check the ship's weapon systems. The soldiers agreed, and soon they broke into teams, each with specific tasks. As the teams worked, Zal and the human leader, a soldier named Captain Mason, discussed their next steps. Mason had a strong presence, and his eyes showed a mix of worry and hope. We need to understand the current state of the galaxy. What happened while we were gone? He asked, crossing his arms. Many civilizations have risen and fallen in your absence, Zal replied. Some may see you as a threat, while others might seek your help. We must prepare for all possibilities. Meanwhile, Lyra and her team focused on the ship's sensors. The control panel lit up with information. Lyra gasped as she read the data. We have multiple ships nearby. Some are scanning for us and others are approaching quickly. Zal rushed over to her side. Can we identify them? Lyra worked quickly, her fingers dancing over the controls. One ship is alien and it seems to be armed. The other, it's a human vessel. Mason's eyes widened. A human ship? After all this time? We need to communicate with them. They could be allies. Let's prepare a message, Zal suggested. We need to identify ourselves and explain our situation. Lyra nodded and quickly composed a transmission. They crafted a message that included their names, their intention to unite, and a warning about the approaching alien ship. With a press of a button, the message was sent out into the void of space. As they waited for a response, the tension in the air thickened. The crew gathered around the main screen, watching the sensor readings carefully. The alien ship grew closer, and its intentions remained unclear. After a few anxious moments, a reply came through. The screen lit up with the image of a human captain, his face etched with confusion and concern. This is Captain Rodriguez of the starship Valor. We received your message. How is this possible? We thought we were alone. We have awakened from centuries of slumber, Mason replied, his voice steady. We are not your enemies. We found your ship and seek to understand what has happened while we were gone. Rodriguez looked relieved but still wary. We need to meet in person. Our ship is also armed and ready for defense. We have heard stories of a human fleet but did not expect to find you here. Agreed, Zal said. Let us rendezvous and share information. But we must remain cautious. There's an alien ship approaching us and we don't know its intentions. The tension mounted as they prepared for the meeting. Captain Rodriguez agreed to come aboard the warship, and soon the Valor approached. The Zenthari and humans stood side by side, ready to greet their fellow humans and discuss their shared past. As the Valor docked, a group of humans stepped onto the warship. The crew exchanged cautious glances, each side unsure of what to expect. But as Mason and Rodriguez met, they embraced, both men clearly relieved to find each other alive. Together we can make sense of this strange new world, Mason said, clapping Rodriguez on the back. Just then, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lyra rushed back to her station, her heart racing. The alien ship is closing in fast. They are powering their weapons. Zal turned to both human captains. We must prepare for battle. We cannot let them disrupt our first contact. With adrenaline pumping through their veins, the crews sprang into action. Zenthari and humans worked together seamlessly, setting their defenses and preparing to fight. In that moment, they realized that their survival depended on their unity. Together, they would face this new threat, proving that humanity, now awakened from the depths of time, would not go down without a fight. The tension aboard the warship was palpable as alarms blared. Zenthari and humans worked side by side, preparing for the impending battle. The ship shook slightly as the alien vessel closed in, its dark silhouette looming ominously in the distance. Zal stood at the command console, scanning the sensors for more information about the approaching threat. It's a large ship, he said, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. And it seems to be armed with powerful energy weapons. Mason, standing beside him, clenched his fists. We have to defend ourselves. We cannot let them attack our new alliance. Lyra, focused on her station, nodded in agreement. We should prepare our weapons and create a defensive strategy. If we work together, we can protect both our ships. As the crews organized themselves, Zal and Mason gathered the leaders of both groups. Captain Rodriguez of the Valor joined them, a look of determination on his face. We need to form a battle plan. If we can coordinate our efforts, we have a better chance of defeating this enemy. Agreed, Zal replied. Let's combine our technologies and create a unified front. He turned to Lyra. Can you link our ship's systems to improve our targeting and defense? Lyra's eyes sparkled with excitement. Yes, if we connect the two ships, we can share information in real time and optimize our attack patterns. It will be like having one larger ship. The leaders nodded, appreciating her enthusiasm. They set to work immediately, connecting the systems of the warship and the Valor. The crew felt a surge of hope as the two vessels merged their capabilities. As the alien ship drew closer, the crew could see its dark hull glimmering ominously in the starlight. It was a strange design, with sharp angles and eerie lights flickering along its surface. The tension grew thicker in the air, but the united crews focused on their task. "Prepare the weapons!" Mason shouted. "We need to show them we are not afraid." Zal turned to his crew. "Remember, our strength lies in our unity. We will fight as one! Let's protect our new alliance and show this enemy that we will not back down." The crew cheered, and soon they were ready for battle. As the alien ship came within range, Zal activated the targeting system. "Lock on their weapons," he commanded, his heart racing. "We can disable them before they fire!" Lyra's fingers danced across the controls, and the ship's weapons hummed to life. "Targets locked! On your mark! Fire!" Mason shouted, and the warship unleashed a torrent of energy beams toward the alien ship. Bright flashes illuminated the dark space, and the alien vessel shook under the barrage. But the alien ship retaliated, firing back with its own weapons. The impact rocked both the warship and the Valor, and alarms rang out as shields flickered under the strain. "Reinforce the shields," Rodriguez ordered, and the crew scrambled to respond. The fight was fierce, with both sides exchanging fire. Yet the combined efforts of the Zenthari and humans began to turn the tide. Their coordinated attacks confused the alien crew, who were not used to facing such an unexpected alliance. Zal and Mason exchanged glances, their resolve strengthening. "We can win this!" Zal shouted, feeling a surge of pride in their teamwork. Just then, the alien ship began to falter. Its shields flickered, and for a moment it hesitated. "Now's our chance!" Lyra exclaimed, excitement building in her voice. "Let's finish this!" With renewed determination, they launched a final, powerful strike. The energy beams hit the alien ship in quick succession, and it erupted in a brilliant explosion of colors. The crew of the warship watched in awe as the alien vessel was destroyed, leaving nothing but debris behind. The battle was won, but the real victory lay in their newfound alliance. They had come together to face a common enemy and emerged stronger for it. As the dust settled, Zal turned to Mason and Rodriguez. "Today we have forged a bond that will last beyond this battle." Mason nodded, a smile spreading across his face. "Together we can protect our worlds and explore the galaxy. This is just the beginning." With that, the three leaders stood united, knowing that their alliance would shape the future of humanity and the Zenthari. They would face whatever challenges lay ahead as partners, ready to discover the mysteries of the universe together. After the fierce battle, the warship and the Valor drifted among the stars, debris from the defeated alien ship floating around them. Inside the command center, a sense of relief and triumph filled the air. Zenthari and human crew members exchanged smiles and congratulatory nods, their bond stronger than ever. Zal, Mason, and Captain Rodriguez gathered at the command table. "We did it!" Mason exclaimed, his eyes bright with excitement. "Together we fought and won!" Zal smiled, his alien features softening. "Yes, but this victory means more than just a battle. It marks the beginning of a new era for our people." Rodriguez leaned forward, his expression serious. "We must use this moment to build a lasting alliance. We faced a common enemy today, but there may be more challenges ahead. We need to prepare for what's next." Lyra, who had been monitoring the ship's systems, interjected, "I suggest we take time to assess the damage and make any repairs. We should also analyze the data we collected during the battle. It could help us understand our enemy better." "Good idea," Zal agreed. "Let's learn from this experience and strengthen our ships." The three leaders split their tasks. Rodriguez headed to the Valor to oversee repairs and gather his crew for a meeting. Mason and Zal remained on the warship discussing their next steps. As they worked, they realized they had much to learn from each other. The humans shared their knowledge of advanced weaponry and tactics, while the Zenthari taught them about their unique technology and navigation systems. Together, they began to create strategies for future encounters. Days turned into weeks as they trained and shared information. The crew members grew closer, learning each other's languages and customs. Laughter and camaraderie filled the halls of the warship, where once there had been tension and uncertainty. One day, as they gathered for a meeting, Zal stood before the assembled crew. "Today, we stand united not only as Zenthari and humans, but as allies. We have proven that together we can overcome great challenges. We must now explore the galaxy as one." Mason nodded, feeling a surge of pride. "Let's discuss our plans for the future. We need to establish communication with other human colonies and Zenthari outposts. We must let them know we are united." Rodriguez added, We should also seek out any potential threats. We cannot let ourselves be caught off guard again. With their goals clear, the leaders set out to implement their plans. They sent messages across the galaxy, reaching out to human colonies and Zenthari worlds. News of their victory spread quickly, inspiring hope among the people. They received enthusiastic responses from many who wished to join their alliance. As they gathered support, Mason, Zal, and Rodriguez also focused on building a stronger fleet. They pooled their resources to create new ships, combining Zenthari technology with human engineering. The result was a fleet unlike any other, equipped with advanced weapons and defenses. Soon the fleet was ready, and the three leaders decided to embark on their first exploratory mission together. They set a course for a nearby star system known for its mysterious anomalies. As they traveled, excitement filled the air. "We are about to discover what lies beyond," Zal said, his eyes gleaming with curiosity. Mason chuckled. "I can't wait to see what we find. It's time to make history." As they approached the star system, they marveled at the beautiful sight of swirling colors and strange formations. But their awe quickly turned to caution as they detected unknown ships moving within the system. Rodriguez's voice rang out, filled with determination. "We must be ready for anything. Let's make sure we don't repeat past mistakes." With their hearts racing, the crew prepared for what lay ahead. They had come a long way since awakening from their slumber, but they were ready for whatever challenges the universe had to offer. In that moment, Zal, Mason, and Rodriguez understood that their journey was just beginning. The alliance they had forged was not only about survival, it was about exploration, friendship, and unity. They would face the unknown together, ready to write the next chapter in their shared history, a new era of cooperation and discovery among the stars.